Hello, I'm Justine, also known as Just Sold Out. Today we have something special on the channel. For those of you who didn't know, I am an avid golfer. I wish I could play more, but I live downtown in Philadelphia and honestly kind of lack, I guess, knowledge on the Philadelphia golf community. I've been playing since middle school, so golf is something that has just been with me my entire life. As I get older, I find myself golfing more and more each day. And now sneakers and golf are really merging into kind of one big community. There's definitely some crossover with the sneaker community and golf as a sport. It's really great to see that now there are way more offerings for Nike Golf, and that can easily be said just the same with Jordan Golf. So here we go. Today it just arrived. It actually arrived when I was on vacation, so I just picked it up. You have a classic black box and you have a nice gold foiled imprinted Jordan logo on the very top. On the size tag, I went with my 5.5. I heard that these do run a half size big, so you're actually supposed to half size down. We'll see if it's true because sometimes I teeter along the 5, 5.5, and 6. So we'll see if this is true to size or not for the ladies. Let's open these bad boys up. First off, got a little Nike Golf warranty card. Here we go. So today's unboxing is the Air Jordan 1 Low Golf. So this sneaker is originally made, of course, in 1985, paying homage to the classic Jordan shoe. The only major difference is that it's been reimagined for the golf course. I was lucky enough to get it in all white. Immediately after I purchased it though, I was like, should I customize them? This shoe in particular though is very interesting. It does take the Jordan 1 upper. The main difference for this upper though is the material that was used. Although to the naked eye, it might just look kind of like a leather material. I saw other YouTubers testing it against water to see if it was fully waterproof. It does look like the entire upper, at least wherever this leather material, it is weatherproof, waterproof if you will. The only thing to note is that the tongue is not waterproof, weatherproof. It will soak up any kind of liquid or water, unlike the rest of the leather. This leather is also different from whatever Air Jordan 1 Low, even just the classic Air Jordan 1 High. It is different from those. I kind of wonder if there is some kind of extra protective coat over this leather that makes it waterproof. Not really sure, but I can say that almost all the panels, they look very similar to the regular Air Jordan 1 Low. So good to see that Nike essentially stayed true to the silhouette and didn't remix it in any way just because it was going to the golf side of things. Of course, the biggest difference with this shoe is the entire sole as well as the outsole. You can compare this with a normal Jordan 1 Low and you'll see a very similar pattern. Essentially on the golf outsole, it is slightly more raised so that golfers have that traction that is needed for their conditions when they play. For those of you who aren't that familiar with golf footwear, there previously was spikes only, essentially, that kind of rules the entire golf sneaker industry. I'm not entirely sure when, but spikeless eventually became kind of a trend. I think a lot more people like it because it's not as abrasive as the spikes. I specifically wanted a spikeless golf shoe though for the golf range. I found that I really like my Nike Air Max 95s, which has almost kind of similar traction in the outsole. This is just unrivaled though compared to any sneaker that I would buy just because it has the golf tech in it technically. On the outsole, you'll of course see that in the very middle, instead of just one classic Nike swoosh, it now has the Nike Golf logo. These came laced up with some white flat cotton laces as well as an extra set in case, I assume, these get dirty. The insole has a specific Jordan Golf logo on the inside. In general, I absolutely love this shoe though, just because it really does give Jordan 1 Low vibes. especially with that white outsole just kind of being, I guess, like a more added traction. So you won't necessarily see this and be like, is that a Jordan 1 Golf? No, you would just kind of see it and be like, oh, they're wearing Jordan 1. If you kind of know that the traction is there, you get like a nice close-up look, then yeah, you can definitely tell that it is the Golf. Like I said, I think these are really great for the golf range just because then your foot won't move around every time you swing. I personally use sneakers with spikes on them, so it'll be interesting to see how these wear and tear. Looks like on the back heel, they did more of a printed Air Jordan logo than an embroidery. I assume they did this though because of like the weatherproofing involved. Embroidery, I can imagine, gets kind of gross and gunky if you get something weird. Just because this is a golf shoe, it was thought of, so I kind of am happy that that is just kind of debossed in the back. You almost can't even see the logo, so very interesting choice. I feel like Jordan put this shoe out in this specific colorway to kind of gauge how the market felt. I was just lucky enough to see a tweet that these were actually in stock. I think I refreshed after 15 minutes and they were all gone, so that was that. These fit very interesting, and I definitely see why a lot of people are like, oh, you have to half size down. It does fit a little bit big, but I also kind of thought about, well, I do wear some pretty thick socks when I golf, so maybe that was to account for that. For me, these fit perfectly just because I kind of like having that little bit of extra toe room when I golf. I wouldn't want essentially my feet to be really, really tight. It would just make for an uncomfortable 18 holes. I can definitely see why this fit funky on some people. I will say it feels very narrow, at least a lot more narrow than I envisioned it to be. Thanks so much for joining me on today's unboxing. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing these Air Jordan 1 Low Golf. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.